Welcome to Hot Garbage.
Hello and welcome to Hot Garbage, where we are the only trash talk that matters. I'm your host, Laura, and we have a surprise. We have a really big surprise, and it's that Stephanie broke her foot.
Yay!
Yay!
I told her that it was probably just a bad sprain, which she could move her foot, she could move her toes. It's just a little hairline in her heel, you know? So, like, what I was saying was, like, you know, accurate-ish. And I said, like, there's going to be, like, a little minuscule chance it's a hairline. And that's what happened. And so Stephanie's out here with a broken heel.
I love the word accurate-ish.
I feel like that's what it was. It was accurate, like, ish.
I
Like-
love when I told y'all, Laura went, of course. Like, the smallest chance it's that, and then it's that.
And she did it to save the AirPods, guys.
Yep. Gotta save them.
We're here
Yes.
today because I broke my
We're here
heel.
today. There they are. Vanna White, show them off.
But my deductible to see the doctor was was a little bit less than if I just went to go get new AirPods. So
Alright,
I should have broke my AirPods.
Saved $5. Cool.
I saved $10. That's like that Starbucks drink that they tell us to like hold out on, you know? Right? Oh, yes. So Stephanie has a broken foot. We're really excited about it.
I love it. I'm in a boot for 4 weeks. I took it off. I don't even know if I'm allowed to be taking it off. I need a call and like I didn't ask instructions. So I took it off at night. Yeah. I thought they were gonna give me something and they kind of were just like, okay, go back, you can go back to work, just don't do anything. And then of course I do stuff. But yeah. I don't even want to.
Yeah, you should probably call them and find out if
Yeah.
like you can take the like boot off and stuff. I feel like you can,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
It was like hurting me. It's like so heavy. I needed to take it off.
As long as you don't like I feel like it's like a stabilizer, so like us deducing doctor. There's no reason to be doing this. No reason should we take this advice.
Giving medical advice.
But what we're gonna do is what I'm thinking is that like, you know, it's a stabilizer. And so if you're not like moving it around, I feel like you don't need to have the boot.
I'm just laying in bed. Like I just plan on laying in bed. Like Nick's here now. He can grab stuff. I can just lay here until I have to like pee or something, and then the
Put the boot
bathroom's like right there. Yeah. I'll put
Yeah.
the boot on.
Yeah, you should put the boot on when you get up.
Yeah.
I have no medical reason to say that. It just feels like that's what should happen.
In the middle of the night, I got up once and I was like, I don't want to put the boot on. So I did hobble and it hurt and I had to come back and when I woke up in the morning, I was like, I'm not gonna hobble to the bathroom this time. I'm gonna put the boot on.
Just hopping on one foot to the bathroom.
Yes.
It's the up and down that was definitely doing it. I was like, ooh, because it's still broken. So, like it's not really like it's kind of like just there.
Yeah. But my left leg is starting to get really sore too from compensating for this leg. So I'm gonna keep you guys updated.
The other one's gonna
on
be
how I feel.
atrophied in like 4 weeks. It's gonna be like a little skeleton leg. You're gonna be like, what the heck?
I'm so scared that's gonna happen. I really don't want that to happen.
It's not gonna happen.
Okay, it's 4 weeks. It shouldn't happen.
It's not gonna happen.
It's not like you're like staying in bed, like not doing anything. Like you're going to work and shit like that. So you're still like using it.
Yeah.
You're using like your upper leg portion too.
Yeah. Oh
So
my
the
gosh,
down,
and
like the lower leg, if you don't know if that's it.
And I have a
You have to
scooter.
wait on it for the first time and it's gonna give out.
I'm so scared. I'm so scared when I can actually put weight on the heel. Like, what's gonna happen? Like,
It's
it's
gonna
gonna
be
hurt.
okay.
Yeah, right?
I mean, Laura did tell you it was going to be okay whenever it happened too.
And I
so
told you it was just
I
gonna be
wouldn't
a
take her
sprain.
advice. Yeah.
And all week I thought it was a sprain. I kept telling everyone it's a sprain. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Yeah, but you did what you were supposed to. I said, if it still hurts like this in a couple days, like go, and that's what you did do. And then it ended up being a fracture. So it's not like I like gave the worst advice. You know what I
No,
mean?
you gave
Like,
advice. And when my doctor came in and she said it's a fracture, I laughed. I was like, I was like, of course. She was like, it's a little, you had a fracture. And she's like explaining it. She's like, it's just a little one. So like your bone's like this, and it's like this right now, but like it was like apart, and I was like, what? You're saying it's like a fracture. Like I feel like it shouldn't be like all the way broken like that. Like she's telling me it's like this, like that. Like that's what she was doing. I don't know. It was weird.
if
You're
it was
watching
like
the
all the
YouTube.
way broken, you would be in a cast, and they would have told you to
Right?
go see an orthopedic. Like, it's
Yeah.
not like,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
Well, then again, they didn't
what?
give you any instructions, so maybe they forgot to tell you to go to the
Yeah.
orthopedic.
I don't know why they just let me leave. Like, like last night, I was like, wait, what are my instructions for the rest of the night? Like, for the rest of my, like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
No,
Didn't tell
yeah.
you anything, told you you can go back to work, just don't do anything. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck's going on here?
I don't know. I don't know. I was like, God. So,
And
I'll
it's
keep you guys
Friday,
updated.
so oops.
Friday. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy it's Friday. I just want to freaking lay in bed, and then I just have to go into work on Monday, and then I get 2
You don't
more
have to
days
do
off.
anything all weekend.
No, I just get to stay here. Tomorrow, I'm hoping my dad's tired, and maybe he just wants to, like, order a pizza to hang out,
Hell yeah.
and we can just eat here on the couch. That would be really cool. 'Cause I'm so tired, like, this leg is hurting, so yeah.
All right, let's get into motherfucking share time. I'm gonna go first because mine's depressing.
Right.
And by that I mean I'm watching Handmaid's Tale, and that's our feature.
I've never seen it, I don't know anything about it.
Oh my god. So I watched like 20 minutes of the first episode, and I have a thing about women getting raped on like television and movies and stuff like that because like it's entertainment and I don't feel like we should be doing that. However, I got the fuck over it for this. And I'm glad that I did. Because like so I researched it a little bit before like I actually like watched it because if I'm going to watch it like I need to know what I'm getting myself into, you know what I mean? Like am I
Yeah.
watching like 5 seasons of like women getting like, you know, raped? You know what I mean? Like I'm
Mhm.
not into that. And it's not.
That's
Thankfully.
good. Yeah.
But basically what the premise is that there's a second civil war. Sound familiar? I know. And so
Huh.
it gets better, guys. It gets so much better. And so these people called the Sons of Jacob decide that they're going to blow up the White House and the Capitol building,
Okay.
which sounds a lot like the Jasper
Mhm.
generation. It sounds a lot like January 6th.
Mhm.
I don't see
And
it.
I would like to say that this came out before that happened.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. And so basically, they win. And America gone. We're now Gilead. And Gilead
what-
is ruled by uber religion.
Okay.
Think cherry picking verses out of the
What?
Bible.
No
Right.
way.
Like you wouldn't expect that to happen. So they're cherry picked.
Nobody's ever done that before. Come on.
Like how cults do it all the time. So we cherry pick. And we, you know, then say nobody can read and write. And if you read or write, you get a finger taken.
Okay.
And so basically they cherry pick. And so it starts out where like all the women lose like their credit cards and then they can't work. And they do that at the same time. But what I forgot to mention is that there's also like fertility issues because of like chemicals and like radiation and all the things that they probably feed us.
Mhm.
Sounds not far off. So
Yeah.
so so fertility rates plummet, and so like nobody can have babies. So now there's also no more orphans. But now like the elitists like they want babies. And so they have to figure out how that they can have babies, but they can't have babies. So what do they decide to do? They're going to enslave a certain amount of women who can have babies. Well, how do we know that they can have babies? Oh, because we've been tracking them. Oh, sound familiar with the period trackers and everything? Oh, I know it does. Oh, I know it does. Oh, I know. This is what I'm saying.
Oh my god.
So, I know. And so, basically, June, the main character, who you've probably seen the face of the show, she had a baby with her husband. So that's how they know she had a healthy baby. Her best friend Moira ends up getting paid like $500,000 to have a baby for some couple out in London. Ooh, right? So now she can have babies. So as like the seasons go on, like you slowly figure out that like all of these women were like literally tracked because they could have babies.
Mhm.
I'm not going to spoil anything important in the show
Okay.
because I think everybody should go watch it. So I'm not going to spoil anything important in
I'm
the show.
kind of intrigued.
Yeah. So basically, they then like start going uber religious. And so they basically say that divorces aren't legal anymore. So June's husband, the main character, the face, her husband um used to be married. So now their marriage is null and void. Their kid is a bastard and she's an adulteress. So they end up making these classification of women who can have babies called handmaids. Cherry picked some fucking verse out of the fucking Bible. Don't give a shit which it is. Cherry picks it out of it and basically says that like God wanted handmaids for the elitists to have babies. So they come up with this whole ceremony on basically their husbands raping a woman while the wives sit behind them and hold their arms down. It's horrific. It's horrific. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Like, I'm not going to make it sound like it's better than what it is. It is horrific. You see it 20 minutes into the show. It's horrific and it's meant to be. It's meant to be. They say that the women are getting raped. Like, they say it frequently. Like, it's meant to be that. Like, you're meant to be disgusted by it. Like, that's the point. So that's why I'm not upset about it because yeah, we should be upset. And yeah, it is disgusting. And like it's a vile ceremony, religious ceremony. Put air quotes around that. It's fucking horrible. So they do tone it down after the first season, and I do want to make that clear. Like they do tone it down after like the first season. Like it's still there and it still happens, but it's not as they're not explaining the society anymore, if that makes sense.
So there's not really a reason to show it as much.
Right. But you're still aware that it happens once a month during their fertile days because they also track that period abs. It's fucking creepy. So basically, the show starts as June is trying to escape to Canada with her husband and her kid. And because they're being tracked, they get tracked as they're leaving. They get chased into the woods. Luke almost dies, trying to get the people away from them. June gets captured. The kid gets taken from her and sent to another family. She is a sinner. And so the handmaids are the sinners. And so they are the handmaids because through them giving these elitist babies, it will cure them of their sins or some fucking shit. Like, I don't really fucking know. It doesn't really fucking matter because it's fucking bullshit.
Yeah. It's pissing me off.
Right. So, my other favorite thing that like nobody ever talks about, so I'm going to say it because I want you to think about it while you're watching the show, is that whenever they have to murder somebody, they have the handmaids do it. Meaning if there's a stoning, the handmaids do it. If there's like a hanging, the handmaids are the one pulling the fucking rope because they're the sinners. And so they're the ones that should be doing the murder because they're the sinners. but the elitists who are sentencing them to get stoned and everything like that are fucking absolved.
Of course.
Like, you know,
That's how that works.
you know. So they also all like wear different color outfits. Like they're all color coded. So you're like basically in a caste system and you can tell by like the color that they're wearing. Like the handmaids are in red. The Marthas who are like their little maids and shit, and cooks, they're in gray or brown, one of those. And then I think it's brown because then the poor wives are in gray. And then the elitist women are in like this royal blue and they have like fancy fucking shit. And then, oh my God, when they have like, because people get pregnant. And so you're watching like these elitist women basically like use these women as cows. And like that's literally what they are to these people. Like they have baby showers and it's like they're like showering like the elitist women and the handmaid just has to sit there in the back pregnant having to do all the work. And like when they like show like the wives like role in like them having birth and stuff like that, it's so fucking insane. So the woman who wrote it, Margaret Atwood, she wrote it and said this is what would happen if we took things that these people are saying to a logical end. And that's how she wrote this book. And when you're like, that's exactly what this is. Like if we took this shit to a logical end of what these people wanted, it would quite literally be fucking Gilead. Like it would quite literally be that. Like you
It sounds
like
so good.
like so it is, so I do want to preface it is about like women getting raped often, but it has a point. And it's like I would recommend like if like you have like issues like I do, like I would recommend like researching it a little bit. Like it doesn't spoil the show, you know what I mean? But no, once you get over it, I'm glad that I did because like I think it's something that like I recommend it that people should watch it if you can handle it. Like I get if you can't because it's like trigger, you know? Like
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah, so like I get if you can't, but if you can and like you're a woman, like I really think that you should watch it because I mean, there are a lot of people in this world that look at you like a cow, and you don't think so. Like the one woman, Serena, honestly, I'm gonna so like piss so many people off, and I don't give a shit. This chick, Serena, who's like the wife of like the main chicks, I refuse to use their like of whoever. I refuse to use those names. Her name is June. So like I like like if I'm gonna watch the show, I'm gonna stand on something, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
your name is June. Your name is Emily. Your name is Alma. So, yeah, so what was I saying?
You're talking about researching it and recommending it.
Oh, right, Serena. Okay, I'm here. Thanks. So Serena, she like writes this book and it's basically like how a woman's place in like this new society and how like women should be excited to be handmaids and that they should be excited to do these things and it's like a women's place or whatever. And like every time I see her and like every time she talks, I want to like literally kick her teeth in and I go, women for Trump. Like she is quite literally women for Trump. I want to kick her fucking teeth in sometimes. Because you can tell that like she understands what's happening, but she just continuously like just keeps buying into the cult. And it's like, what the fuck? I'm gonna kick your fucking teeth in. Because like, oh, it's so good. It's really good. I if you can handle it, I truly recommend it because I really liked it. So there's 5 seasons now. They're actually filming the 6th one this summer, and then that's it. But there is like a sequel because apparently Margaret Atwood like wrote a sequel about the one girl that got taken, Hannah, the daughter that got taken from June in the beginning.
Mhm.
She goes off and lives in Gilead, and it's about like her 15 years later grown up in Gilead or whatever, because Gilead's still around, which is like, horrific to also think about.
Yeah.
That like it's horrific to think about. that this ends, right? Like, I'm gonna watch the end of Handmaid's Tale, right? Handmaid's Tale. Like, I'm in, right? Like, I'm bought. So I'm gonna watch the end of it. And to think that at the end of that, that's not the end of it because there's a sequel 15 years later, that's still not the end of it.
Beautiful.
Like, it
love it.
really isn't a happy ending no matter what. I
Even
kinda
if there's
like
just
it.
like a second.
Yeah. Like, we can be happy for specific people, I guess, for getting out.
Yeah.
But it's still a fucking shit show. Yeah, so anyway, this is depressing because when you watch it and, like, you hear about it and, like, you think about it and, like, you look at things, you're like, "Wow, we're living that, aren't we?"
Yeah. That's kind of one
You
reason why I never actually like started it. I was just
That's what
like,
Sarah said.
like I can read the news, it's fine.
Yeah.
I had
Sarah
no
said
idea what it was about.
yeah, well,
Really?
I didn't either until I looked at all that. I thought it was, like, something disgusting. I was like, "I'm not watching that." But, yeah, no, Sarah said that she did start it and then she stopped it because it was too real and she's like, "I actually can't."
Yeah. Can't say I blame her.
Yeah.
You just sold me on it. I put it on my Kindle.
It's on Hulu.
Oh, oh, I wanna read the book.
Oh, I wanna read the book too. Like, after,
Mhm.
like, why like, I do wanna read the book.
It's on Kindle Unlimited, so
Oh, it
I'm
is?
gonna
Oh,
read it
cool.
later.
Guys, it's on Kindle Unlimited. You guys women,
Yes.
women.
You can read it for free on Kindle Unlimited. You heard it here first.
Oh, the other thing, that I really love about the show is, like, people escape from Gilead and get to Canada and seek refuge, and it's like they have real fucked up issues, like, not just, like, the women, like, the handmaids, like, even just people in the society. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, like, men, like, have issues because the one girl does, like, a support group. So she like, it's like men have issues, like, it's not just handmaids, like, it's, like, everybody, like, who gets out, like, has, like they come out of a cult and, like, they're having, like, issues, like, PTSD and, like, it's really insane, and I'm in. I'm bought. I don't know.
Sounds good.
It does sound very good.
Yeah. Alright, so, Stephanie, what's your motherfucking share time? Because mine was depressing, so
So mine is gonna be full of rage because I watched the Summerhouse Part 2 reunion.
Yeah, it
Reunion
is
Part
too.
2, whatever, yeah, and, oh my gosh, guys, am
I
I
caught up.
yeah, Laura caught up. So
Like,
she
I'm
goes
actually like, I watched it up until
mhm,
part 2.
mhm. I don't I don't get it. Am I watching the same show as, like, the cast? I don't understand why everyone fucking hates Lindsay, like, everyone everyone was awful to her.
I do truly think that I don't know when the reunion was filmed, but, like, thinking about Vanderpump, I think that this is when the internet was pretty against Lindsay, and so I
Mhm,
think the cast hopped on that ship when they were recording.
maybe. You're right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're probably
I'm gonna be
right.
honest, I was, like, 10 out I know, like, what we said during the season, but I hadn't watched the season, you know what I mean?
Mhm,
So I was just getting clips on social media. I'm gonna put down this lip gloss for a second because we need to talk about this.
mhm.
Getting real now.
I know, right?
I was, like, only watching, like, clips that were genuinely out of context,
Mhm.
um, and, like, not the full story. So I'm watching the show, and I'm 10 episodes fucking deep, and I'm going, "And what the fuck did Lindsay do?"
I know. Like, her accusing Carl of doing drugs, I kinda get it. I kinda get
Here's the
it,
thing,
like
I, like, watched that, and this is what I got in a Twitter fight, and I'm not even gonna call it that because he was mad I wasn't. I had said, like, she didn't do anything wrong, and this guy had come on, and he was like, "Well, you know, she called him Cocaine Carl, and she said you're not sober and blah, blah, blah." I was like, "Well, the conversation that she had with him the very next day was how the guy's not sober because he smokes pot, and you were acting like Cocaine Carl. So I
mhm,
was saying you weren't sober because I thought you smoked pot because you were acting like Cocaine Carl. Like, I get that, like, she probably should have used a different choice of words, but who says dumb shit when they're drunk? Everybody. And that's what I
mhm.
said. And then the guy's like, oh, well, that's an excuse when you're 22, not 37. was like, yes, it fucking is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely is.
I was like, yes, it the
and
fuck
then
is.
honestly, that's the one mistake I saw her do this whole season.
And she
That's the one
talked to him
mistake.
about it the very next day. They were
She
sitting on the beach and he
yeah.
started screaming at her, and that's when they got into another big fight. Like,
Mhm.
it was a continuation of the fight because he started screaming at her as she was trying to explain what she meant, which
Yes.
was, "You smoke pot. You're not sober. The way you were
Mhm.
acting was cocaine Carl, which is how you act not sober, so I thought that you weren't sober." Like,
Mhm. And I won't get, like, too much into the details, but basically, she apologized on the show. She apologized for calling him Cocaine Carl, and um, everyone was just like fucking ripping her to shreds about it, just like being fucking dicks about it. Danielle, quiet. Gabby, she like interjects like here and there, and like I got so annoyed because Gabby at one point was defending Lindsay, and
I love Gabby.
Amanda,
I didn't know about her until
Mhm.
I started watching because I didn't watch last season. I love
Mhm.
her.
Yeah,
I
I
love
love
her.
her.
She's
She's
a saint.
amazing. She's so
She's a
sweet.
saint. She put up
So
with so
sweet.
much of Lindsay's shit this season because she
Mhm.
knew none of the other girls really liked her. So she was like, "Lindsay, I'll fuck with you. I got your back." I'm like, "You're a saint, girl." Like,
Mhm. She's amazing. I love her so much, and so, um, she was defending Lindsay, and Amanda went, like, rolled her eyes and said, "I've gone through stuff too." Like, I was like,
Amanda,
"Shut
shut the
up,
fuck up.
Amanda. Shut up, Amanda. You're, like, in literally a loveless marriage."
It's not even that. It's just like, Amanda, like, Kyle cheated on you
Mhm.
right before the wedding and you took him back and still married him. Like, you have
Mhm.
absolutely zero room to talk about anybody's relationship ever. You took
Exactly.
back a cheater and then married him. You weren't even
And
married
then
to
they
him.
fight all the time. They fight all the time too.
Like, yeah.
Kyle was cutting off Lindsay every time she was trying to say something,
Of course he
Kyle
was.
was, like, cutting her off and, like, invalidating her feelings, like, she said, "This is how I feel," and he was like, "That's not how you felt." Like, he literally would say, like, "No, that's," and she's like, "Okay, so you know how I feel, just go ahead and speak for me." It was just it was so frustrating, like, the whole time, I was just like it was, like, 30 minutes of everyone just ganging up on Lindsay, and I truly didn't understand.
Yeah, I don't think Lindsay is a saint. Okay? Let's like put that out there. I don't think
No, she's
Lindsay's a
not.
saint. And I'm also gonna put out there that I do not think Carl yells at somebody else like that. I think he yelled at Lindsay like that. I don't think that if
Mhm,
you put somebody else in that role, he yells at somebody the same way he yelled at Lindsay. So it's really the relationship that's the problem and not either one of them. And they should have never been in a relationship because it was bullshit from the start. Like they got in a
mhm,
bullshit relationship because they were on a reality TV show and they were friends. Like
mhm,
it was bullshit. When they were, like, hooking up when he was, like, drunk, fucking all that shit, I watched
mhm.
that. That was bullshit. Like, that was a joke. And then what?
Yeah.
He's sober, so now you think it's gonna work out? It's still bullshit.
Mhm,
It's still bullshit. He's just sober, and it's bullshit. So, I mean, like, it was a doomed toxic relationship from the very
mhm.
fucking beginning.
They are together because Lindsay was really there for him when his brother died, and I think he really loved
Latched.
her during that time. Yeah, and he latched onto her during then, and they're that they didn't work out the first time because they don't have that spark or that chemistry,
They're
that sexual
friends.
chemistry. They're friends.
They should have
Um,
stayed friends because then they
mhm,
woulda never had what we're having now, and you guys coulda
yeah.
just stayed friends.
This time it lasted a little longer, but it still ended the same exact way it ended the first time, so probably a little like, actually a lot worse because they freaking had a wedding or, like, a wedding freaking paid for and everything. Lost her deposit because Carl did it 2 days before or 2 days after,
I will say
he
that I
got
do
caught.
think that, like, watching it, Carl, like, wanted to, like, break up with her by, like, episode 5. By episode 10, he was definitely, like, checked out of the relationship, and he just
Mhm,
kept, like, going, and I really think that I know what they said on the reunion because I watched it. I don't believe Andy Cohen. No one should.
wait, what did Andy
When
Cohen
he
say?
said, like, oh, what was it? oh, well, the producers told me that they didn't know that when Carl called him, they didn't know that you guys were breaking up. I was like, bull fucking shit.
Oh yeah, I
Bull
don't believe
fucking
that.
shit. They fucking knew. Carl set it up.
Production was done already. The last
Yeah.
day was 2 days before. Of course they fucking knew something was going on if Carl was fucking calling.
Like,
Duh.
and it's like, and it's also like, you guys saw them having fights. You guys knew that they were having fights in Montauk when the cameras weren't going and they all went over to Montauk. You know all that shit was happening. That's bull fucking shit, and you know it is. And it's like, and I do think Carl set it up, if I'm going to be completely fucking honest with you. Because why didn't he talk to her for like 2 fucking days until the fucking producers got there or whatever? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I think he did set it up. Yeah, I don't know why the cast doesn't see
He
how
wanted his own
calculated
Scandival.
Carl is. Yeah, I don't see how they don't see how calculated he is. It just beams off of him. Like, he's just a bad person. So, yeah, I'm very disappointed at that finale. I'm disappointed in everyone. Like, the people even I thought I liked. I'm very upset with them right now for the way that they treated Lindsay.
Justice for Lindsay.
Justice for Lindsay.
That's where we are right now. Justice for Lindsay.
Yeah, she didn't deserve that.
Man, I went hard for her on Twitter. Like, I went hard for her. Like, I sent it to, like, I sent it and I was like, look how hard I went for her.
Yeah. People on Reddit are doing this for her too. Everyone
Because she didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think Carl really did anything wrong. I think that it was a toxic
No.
relationship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
I don't think either of them were angels.
Mm-hmm.
I think that both of them pissed each other off when the cameras weren't rolling a lot.
I agree. Yeah. So that's my share time. I don't even remember anything else about the reunion because that really pissed me off.
Didn't
And that's all I
matter.
could think of. Yeah, didn't matter anymore. So that's that. Tyler, your turn.
I don't have anything, so
You don't have motherfucking share time?
yeah. I ate some awesome seafood today.
Okay. He fell asleep right before we had to call him. He fell asleep.
Yeah. It was real good seafood and a bunch of it. It put me into a food coma. So
you guys
I'm
beat
not
the
all there
Phillies.
right now. Yeah,
you guys destroyed the Phillies.
Yeah.
That was fun.
It was a good
Yay!
The Phillies have like the best record in baseball, and the Boston Red Sox
are a very mid team.
Mid.
Go
And
Padres.
Padres are below mid.
Yeah.
Go Padres.
I'm not sure if you're above the Cardinals right now. Which says something because the Cardinals, man, are pitiful.
The whole National League's pitiful right now.
I know. The Brewers are going to end up winning, and they're going to be like a 550 team. They're going to be like just there.
Let's see. How are Padres are 37-35, so they at least have a positive record.
Look at that.
And St. Louis is right at 500 as well. So
Yeah, look at that.
look at us being mid.
Look at us being mid.
Yay!
I went from the 2023 Cardinals, who were absolute fucking dog shit. Like, absolute fucking dog shit. Like, that was a fucking joke. That's why Nolan Arenado is still broken. You want to know what happened to him? You want to know all those people that are asking what happened to Nolan Arenado? It was the 2023 Cardinals. That is what happened.
Makes sense.
And so now we've just slightly improved ourselves and we're mid.
Yeah, it's about where the Red Sox are at too. So
love that for us. Okay, so guys, we aren't going to do the documentary shit.
Yeah.
we have all collectively figured out that anytime we try and do the documentary shit, it never fucking works out. And so
Also
we're done with that.
We missed last week. So
yeah, that's why we weren't here last week, because we did that Dancing with the Devil 7M and like we had nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, none of us really like felt it. None of us like fucking really were there.
Yeah.
So that's why we weren't here last week. Acknowledge now.
Halfway through the episode,
Halfway.
Perfect time to bring it up.
We're back, guys.
That's why we were here last week. It wasn't because of Stephanie's foot. So we're gonna try something else, and we're gonna try a movie. So Tyler has never seen some of these like teenage girl movies. He's seen a decent amount of them, but he hasn't seen all of them.
Yeah.
And so we found one, and it's called Sugar and Spice. If you don't know anything about Sugar and Spice, it's about cheerleaders that rob a bank.
Mhm.
And I think that that's exactly what you should go into that movie with.
Yeah.
Cheerleaders who rob a bank.
Mhm.
It's hilarious. Tyler, how did you like it? Like just like overall before we get into anything, how'd you
Yes.
like it?
I actually really enjoyed it. It was
Yeah.
really fucking funny. It felt just like Bring It On, but with a bank heist.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that makes me so happy to
It's
hear that
very
you liked
it has a
it.
lot of Bring It On-esque. I like Bring It On more because I feel like Bring It On is funnier.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's also very much a product of its time. Like
Yeah.
the music and certain words being thrown around.
Oh, the
Oh.
soundtrack slaps.
The soundtrack's great.
Can we petition to bring back like that early 2000s like pop punk like
I love
punk
it.
music that like Simple Plan, Sum 41 at like the beginning of like these movies?
Well, they're all retiring now, so
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like I mean, I feel like we can replace them if we wanted.
yeah.
We
I'm sure it's
could.
out there. Actually, I know it's out there because for
It is
some
out there
reason,
because I
like
listened to it.
for some
I'm gonna
reason,
add to
TikTok thinks that's what I'm into. Like from the beginning, they're just like, "Oh yeah, you fucking love pop punk." I'm like, I don't.
I
This is
do.
what you like, right?
I do. So here's the thing, I'm tone deaf. So I think the reason that I like pop punk is because of the beat behind it. It's kind of just noise anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah. So I feel like that's why, because I feel like I'm not hearing it differently than anybody else because it is just noise.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Um, it took me a long time to figure that one out. So I also want to say that this movie came out in 2001.
Mhm.
I thought it came out like I don't know, like 2006, 2004, right? So when I saw 2001, I was a little bit like, "Ooh, that was right on the 90s."
Yeah, it still had that feel to it. So,
Yeah. Um, which I love. Like that's like my bread and butter. Like talk about like the television shows I watch, like that era of like the WB and like CW and stuff.
Yeah.
So my bread and butter, like One Tree Hill, like that kind of
Same.
shit. I eat up,
Same.
eat it up.
I loved it.
Yeah. Um. So basically, the cheerleaders are gonna rob the bank because the one like captain of the cheerleading squad, Diane, gets pregnant and her and her boyfriend get kicked out of their house, and so they need an apartment and money and things like that.
Mhm.
So we have let's name the girls. Let's name the girls. We
Okay.
have I wrote down what their little names were with like their little caption in the very beginning because they have like their name and then like the caption with them.
mhm.
Mhm.
So I wrote it down. So we have Diane the mastermind. She's the cheer captain who gets pregnant.
Mhm.
Then we have Hannah the virgin, played by Rachel Blanchard. She's also obsessed with horses.
Oh my god.
Then we have Cleo the stalker, who's obsessed with Conan O'Brien.
Yes.
We have Kansas the rebel, who's played by the chick in American Pie.
Mira, no, right?
Mina Savari.
Mina, yeah. Yeah. She's the rebel, her mom's in jail. Then there's Lucy the brain, who's anal.
Mhm.
And then there's Fern the Terminator.
Mhm.
And I would like to give an honorary mention to Jack Bartlett, who is played by
Mhm.
James Marston.
Marston. Yeah.
Marston.
James Marsters is Spike from Buffy.
We've had this conversation before.
Have we?
Yeah.
Yo, someone is bumping out in the parking lot right now.
I never
Can't hear it, but they're bumping. Excuse me. Oh, I wrote this down. I have seen this movie like 100 times. I've seen this movie so many times. I never realized that their names were Jack and Diane.
I never
Really?
till this time either.
Really?
This is the first time I ever noticed, and I watched this movie so many times. I know I quoted the whole movie while I watched it.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, it's Jack and Diane.
Yeah, me too. I was like, wait, Jack and Diane? Jack and Diane? How have I never?
I never picked it up. Never once have I picked that up. It was this time.
I was waiting for the fucking song to play the whole time.
I don't think it ever does.
It doesn't.
No.
Yeah.
Now it's like so funny that they're Jack and Diane. Like, of course they are. Of course.
Of course they are. And it was like, yeah, of course.
Makes so much sense.
Yeah, so basically the girls, they learn how to like rob. I'm not trying to like spoil the whole movie for everybody, even though it came out in 2001.
Came out over 20 years ago.
I spoil shit all the time for a spoiler account. And I'm here like, I don't know if I should spoil the movie.
Yeah, it's fine.
But anyway, so they decide that they're going to start to learn how to rob a bank because they come up with the idea. And at first, like, they're like, fuck you, Diane, right? And then they're all like, and then she's like, well, you can pay for Harvard and you can do this and you can do that. And then they're like, okay, we'll rob a bank.
Yeah, let's do
And so
it.
they decide that they're going to do it by watching the movies, and that fails. So then they do a little mini heist, and that doesn't work. Or no, the mini heist is later. I'm sorry, guys. So after the movies don't work out, Kansas decides that she's going to go to her mom in jail and ask her for help. And her mom in jail got all of her friends, and the jail friends help them rob a bank. The people that got caught started helping them
Yes.
rob a bank.
Let's talk about how horrible that guard is. He's just standing behind them, like listening to all this.
I know.
It's like wide open. Like they're all just next to each other.
No glass or phones or anything. He's just there, just
like asleep at the wheel.
Like, you want to go get Gats or whatever. Go see what's itchy or what, or tell them.
Yeah, tell them Itchy sent you. And then when they show up to get the guns. Yeah, so Itchy tells them to go get the guns. So they go to this guy to go get the guns. And they're like cheerleaders at this fucking place. And they're like, we're here for the guns. And then one of them goes like, we're here for the guns. And he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And so then the other one, with like a huge smile on her face, is like, Itchy sent us.
How is old Itchy? She's old. Yeah, that's my
Sounds
Itchy.
like her. So basically they go to get these guns and they tell him what he wants, and he wants like this money, and they're like, oh, what can we get for $200?
You can get some nails, a rubber band.
And so basically he makes a deal with them that if they put Fern, his daughter, on the cheerleading squad, then he'll give it to him.
Yeah.
They were like, no. So they then go and do the mini heist at the they're selling tickets to the dance at the school, and so they basically steal the money from the school, and it's like $200. And I love when they're like, what food are they feeding us if they're turning a profit on $200?
They're selling lunch tickets. That's what they're selling.
Yeah,
lunch tickets.
Yeah.
That's what it is, lunch tickets. What kind of profit are they turning on $200? Like, oh, it was so funny. Oh. So anyway, so they are getting ready to go do it, and Kansas's mom sends them their masks, the Barbie masks.
Betty dolls.
Betty dolls, that's what they are, Betty doll masks. Because girls rule, boys drool, fuck ski masks.
Poor Fern doesn't get one.
I know.
Fern doesn't get one, and they're like, "Oh, we're really sorry, like we didn't like whatever," and she's like, "Oh, it's okay, like I'm fine." And
Just
so
happy to
Lucy
be here.
backs out. So
Yes,
Lucy backs out
Mm-hmm.
and gives her mask to Fern, and the whole time that their other girls are talking and they're all fighting, Fern is literally in the back holding it like a baby, like petting it. And I don't know if you guys saw it too. But Fern is like literally like cradling this fucking mask behind them.
I don't know why I've seen it so many times and I've seen her do that, but I don't know why it doesn't register. Like that's weird. Like in my head. No, I never registered.
It's so funny. She's literally like they're fighting about Lucy still being like robbing a bank, and she's just like caressing. It's hilarious. So anyway, she backs out, but they show up the day of the
day
heist.
after.
The day after Christmas, because there's no pickup. So bank pickup, so there's more money in the bank. I got no money in the bank. Isn't that like a song?
Probably.
It's in Step Up 2.
I know, right?
It's in Step Up 2. If you
I've
want to
never
know
seen Step Up
what
2.
song I am thinking of, it's in Step Up 2. Okay, take that with what you will. That's the song.
Never seen
Okay,
it.
so basically, they are in the exterminator van with the giant bugs, the giant exterminator. This is who we are. They show up in their getaway vehicle with this. Has no brakes.
No breaks.
So Kansas is gonna die trying to get onto the truck. Which had to have been the funniest thing to film. Like, think about it for a second. Like, let's take ourselves, like, and we're filming a movie. How funny must that have been to film?
It would have been fun to do. Like, I want to jump
Yeah.
into a moving vehicle like that.
But you know that some of those girls in the fucking truck were dying. Like, you know that, like, someone in the front of that truck was, like, hidden because she couldn't hold it together. That would have been me. I think it's the funniest thing. Like, when I think about them having to film that scene, it's, like, the funniest thing to me.
It looks fun.
Yeah.
It was great. So, anyway, so they get there. They go into the back, and somebody, I forget who, but they pull the whole fucking doorknob off.
Bionic woman.
Jesus Christ, Terminator Betty. What? I just pulled it.
And the only person's voice that I kind of recognize is Kansas. I don't know anyone else's voice.
Whoever it is goes to take off the mask, and they were like, "Don't take off the mask!"
Yeah.
Christ. That's the first rule. You don't take off the mask. Sorry, Kansas. No names.
What did they call? Sorry, hormonal Betty.
Oh my god.
Other one.
So anyway, so Lucy ends up showing up dressed as like George Bush or something. I don't know.
Nixon.
Nixon.
Yeah.
Called him George Bush.
Same person. It's fine.
Okay.
Both got us into wars we didn't belong in, you know.
Yeah. Well, Nixon didn't really get us into the war. He technically got us out of the one.
Yeah. I mean, he bombed Cambodia, though. So
That's true. Oh, so they go into the bank and they're gonna stick them all up, and everybody gets down, and then all of a sudden the one girl goes, "Do you want just the bank, or the bank and the grocery store?" And they have a fight about it for a minute. and then lets them go on about their business, and then was like,
This is weird.
everybody get down. So basically, the cheerleaders rob the bank. It totally works.
Mhm.
But the one girl, Lisa, who's on the B squad, who's been narrating kind of the whole time,
Mhm.
she ends up finding a piece of pom-pom and like notices that they do like an illegal dismount. So she figures out that it's her then. And she's like gonna turn him in or whatever. And so Diane offers her the captain of the A squad to get her to shut the fuck up.
Mhm.
And she does.
And Lisa wants to be a cheerleader so bad she does it.
She wants to be an A squad cheerleader after dissing them the whole time that she does in fact keep her mouth the fuck shut to keep them out of jail. So let's talk about what they all do with the money. Hannah took her money, made a small business, and it's now the best riding school for horses. Fern traveled the world as a model in men's magazines. Kansas appealed her mom's case, and the judge ruled 32 hours in labor means they could not be held liable for shooting her dad with a shotgun.
Mhm.
Lucy graduated Harvard, made a pizza box, and now owns an island in the Virgin Islands.
Good for her.
Cleo moved to Hollywood, met the producer of Scream, appeared in Scream 8. Ooh, we love Scream over here.
Yes.
And was seen in Soho shopping for furniture with Conan O'Brien.
Mhm.
I wrote that weird. That's why we had an issue. And apparently Lisa was wrong about Bruce, who was like the quote unquote like gay guy that was walking around.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Turns out he wasn't gay and they got married.
Mhm.
Diane told Jack that they won the lottery. He ends up becoming a senator, and then they make the Diane Bartlett Scholarship Fund for pregnant teenagers, so no teenager cheerleader would have to rob a bank again. And it all worked out for them in the end, and isn't that awesome?
It
Such a
was
good
a hell of a
movie.
twist.
Yes.
It worked out.
As soon as she was like, I'd like to tell you it's them, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you didn't know. Like me and Stephanie were completely prepared for it to work out.
It caught me off guard.
Yeah. Yep, it works out for him in the end, which is awesome.
One of my favorite
Yes.
movies. Like
So-
it's such a good movie.
It is.
It's so fun.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're gonna play a game. And that's exactly what this is. And it's called Tag Yourself, Tag Each Other. What we're gonna do is we are going to what I think we should do is you two will say who you would tag me as, and then I'll say who I tagged myself as, and we'll see how accurate it is.
Okay.
Okay. So you guys can tag me first. Let's do that.
Go ahead, Stephanie.
Kansas.
Yeah, I'd say like a mix of like Kansas and what's the one that went to Harvard's name?
Lucy?
Lucy, yeah. Like
The anal
more on the Kansas side, but definitely
Yeah.
a little bit of Lucy in there.
Like
So
immediately when you said tag yourself, I was like Kansas.
Yeah. I'm Kansas. I tagged myself as Kansas immediately. If you guys said Lucy, I would have understood because like I do like give a shit about my schoolwork, but I'm not anal like Lucy is, so I don't identify as Lucy. However, I do identify as Kansas with that anger.
Yeah, no, it shows.
I'm 100% Kansas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I had a feeling that Stephanie was going to tag me as Kansas because we've seen it so much, but I was wondering if you were going to tag me as Lucy or Kansas.
No, definitely more so on the Kansas side than Lucy, but just a little pepper of Lucy in there.
Yeah, I'm Kansas. Okay, so Stephanie, I'm going to tag Stephanie. Stephanie.
I know who it is. I was watching it. I was like, God damn it.
I'm going to be for real. So she's Hannah. because
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
so just happy all the time. And it's all sunshines and rainbows, and she's the first one. Like I know it's Stephanie from the moment that like they're like, let's rob a bank, and Hannah goes, I'm in. Like that's Stephanie.
It absolutely is.
So yeah, I tag you as Hannah.
Yep, same.
Me too.
When you said Cleo, I was like, you're not fucking Cleo.
I
I do
Well,
see some of it, but you're not stalkerish like that, at least.
I
So,
love to fangirl. I'm a huge fangirl, so like
yeah.
that's where I like identify. But when I started watching, I was like, okay, well, I'm not like super sexualized like this or
Yeah.
anything
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. No.
And then I also saw myself in Diane, especially in her like breakdowns and stuff.
Yeah.
So
I could like when she like comes back to the window and she's like, hey, hey, hey.
yeah,
It's like the pep talk with herself. Like, yeah, that too. Yeah.
yeah. Mhm. Okay, Tyler.
Let's hear it.
Okay,
I know what I want to say.
do you want to go first?
You go first.
Fern.
I
That's what I picked it.
feel like Fern is such a special character. Like you have to be given Fern. Like not everybody is a Fern.
No, I saw myself in her right away. I mean, think about Germany, where I was just like, I'm just happy to be here. Like,
I like the caressing of like the mask in the back.
I would absolutely be doing that.
I was like what honestly, like how Stephanie had that moment where it was like Kansas. Like I honestly like when we were like tag yourself, I was like Tyler's Fern.
Yeah, no.
I also thought a little bit like Lucy because I thought like maybe like she would like not the chaos person or the chaos wrangler or whatever master.
Oh, okay.
But
Wrangler.
yeah, but when I watched the movie, I'm like, no, he's Fern. Also because me and Laura are introducing you to all these shows and like and stuff. So like the team is introducing Fern to cheerleading, and then
Yeah,
at the
makes
same
sense.
time,
Yeah, like
she's
me and
thinking about
Stephanie,
guns. Mhm.
like yeah, like when we're all doing this cheer, or like when we're teaching Fern cheers, like me
Mhm.
and Stephanie are doing the cheers and you're doing it opposite. Like that's what's happening.
Yeah. I also have like just enough white trash in my bloodline to like accept that I'm Fern. Yeah.
I feel like you have to be given Fern. Like I feel like Fern is one of those people where it's like people have to tell you that you're Fern and you're like, yeah, I'm Fern.
I mean, like I said, I caught on to it right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're self-aware though.
Yeah. Too
And we love
self-aware.
Yeah, so let us know if you guys think we were accurate because we definitely were.
I think so.
I mean, we all got it right.
Yeah.
There was a definitive right answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you guys haven't seen Sugar and Spice, it is on YouTube. That's where we all watched it. So you guys can check it out. While you're there, you can check us out. That's a dad joke. So doing finger guns. So this episode was way better. This is we're gonna stop with fucking with the documentaries and we're gonna come on over here to the movies.
Mhm.
We learned
We
our
have a lot of
lesson, guys.
Mhm.
We heard it, we felt it. It's cool. We're learning.
Yeah.
That's what we're all here for. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Don't forget, follow us, like I said, at YouTube while you're checking out Sugar and Spice. You can check us out too. I'm in a St. Louis Cardinal hat today. You guys can check that out. I'm usually not in a hat. I'm in a hat this time.
All Cardinals out. The blanket.
All Cardinals, because there's Cardinal behind me too. I'm in a plain black shirt. So follow us on YouTube at Hot Garbage. Also follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook at Hot Garbage Pod. We have been posting TikToks. We have been. we
bit.
can say that we've been posting TikToks.
Yeah.
We can't add the word consistently.
Yeah.
But we can.
There's
they're
been
being
at least like
posted.
2 more on there, so yeah.
Yeah. We can say that they're being posted. Like, we are doing that. So follow us on there. Give us a follow here. Like, rate. We haven't said that in forever.
Yeah.
I 100% haven't said that in forever.
Tell people.
Tell people about us. Yeah,
Spread the
that's what
word.
you could actually do. Instead of looking and reviewing, tell people about us.
Y'all have homework, okay?
Yeah.
You need to
Here's the
tell
thing,
3
guys.
people.
If, like, we can do this full time, that would be everything, because I am going to get fired from every job I get, because I'm going to have to report to a manager. And I don't know how that's going to go.
She
Not
listens
great.
to me and Tyler how much we hate our jobs. She's not gonna do well.
Yeah.
The things I tell them to do, they're like, I'm never going to do that. And I'm like, I do it. I just, I feel like we all should just, get what we deserve. And, like, I'm not afraid to say it.
No, I agree. I just don't have many other options that are as good as this one. So
Yeah, like, that's fair.
this
But, like,
may-
I would also, here's the problem with me, and this is why I'm Kansas. I get that, but I'm going to do it anyway.
And I'm Hannah, where I comply and I watch.
She can't say
the
no.
movies. Yeah.
All right, guys. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for joining us. I know you made it to the end because it wasn't as long. And if you've been here, you definitely made it to the end of this one.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much. And as always, stay trashy.